we would have Janai Nelson, President and Director-Counsel of the NAACP, Legal Defense and Educational Fund, Incorporated.
Thank you, President Mitchell. I appreciate this, and I appreciate your patience. It is an honor to be here, and I look out at this audience and I say, you all are the committed ones. You are the ones who are standing, or sitting, I should say, at the end of the long service, and I appreciate your presence here. I'm going to try to be as brief as possible, and I am actually committed to honoring that promise. The theme of this breakfast is cross the bridge, be a bridge. And that is an excellent way of describing the challenge that those of us who believe in freedom and liberation and justice are facing in this country right now. It's an acknowledgement that our present is inextricable from our past. And it's inextricable from the promised land that we are all seeking. A place where power is shared in this country, where dignity is sacred, and where thriving is the standard. Thriving, not just surviving, but thriving is the standard. That's the promised land that we all seek in this multiracial, multi-ethnic democracy that is still such a nascent experiment in this country. And because of the sacrifices of those who walk this road before us, the challenges we face are different. We have come a long way since Bloody Sunday, but we still have a long road to walk, and we are facing many people who intend to make that road as long as possible. But we are fortunate to have so many fighters on our side, and I want to thank Fire Rose, I want to thank Senator Sanders, I want to thank the Sanders family, and our cooperating attorney, Jaribu Hill. These are the people who provide the inspiration for the next generation of attorneys and advocates and activists and keep us inspired. So today, just as then, we need comprehensive voting rights reform. And today, just as then, we need Congress and the President. We're going to hear from him today, so he needs to hear from us as well. We need him to help tell Congress that they have to fulfill their duties and craft national legislation that will protect the right to vote. And many of you know we are awaiting a decision from the Supreme Court in a case that the Legal Defense Fund litigated that emanates out of this state. It was just expertly argued before the Supreme Court in October by one of our attorneys, Joel Ross, who comes with us every year to Selma, but is in trial right now. And it doesn't matter how well you argue a case in this moment or how right your arguments are, the court can still decide against you. But we know that the 28% of Black people who live in Alabama deserve more than one district where they can elect a representative as formidable and excellent as Terry Sewell. You deserve another one. We deserve another opportunity to elect an excellent representative to Congress, and that's what we're fighting for in the case Merrill versus Milligan. We are in the courts pushing back on state-level attacks against teaching the truthful history of our country. We are defending the right of every student to have an honest education and to be part of conversations about their lived experiences. We are in the media explaining to the public why these attempts are part of an erasure of history, are part of a trifecta of assaults: an assault on the right to protest, an assault on the right to truth, and assault on the right to vote. So we are doing everything we can to make sure that we appreciate the gravity of this moment and that we are equipped with the tools to meet it. So collectively, we must be unrelenting in our demands. We must be strategic in our organizing, and we have to be unified in our purpose. So we are issuing a clarion call that the rights that were won here in Selma 58 years ago must be fully vindicated. They were never fully realized. And we owe that to those foot soldiers. We owe that to the freedom fighters and those who have carried on their legacy to make sure that we have the full breadth of rights that they fought for on that bridge and through those protests and through all of the sacrifices that were made. So I would like to close by telling you that part of what we're trying to do at the Legal Defense Fund is to be that bridge, to pay it forward, to build a pipeline of new activists and lawyers and advocates. And we've done that through a program named after LDF's founder, Thurgood Marshall. And yes, you can give it up for Thurgood Marshall. We always sing his praises. And also Constance Baker Motley, the first Black woman federal court judge who was also a lawyer at the Legal Defense Fund. We launched a project over 2 years ago called the Marshall Motley Scholars Program, where we invite law students who are committed to doing work in the South to work with the Legal Defense Fund, to have all of their expenses paid in law school, as long as they commit to spending 13 years advancing racial justice in the South. We train them, we pair them with organizations, and we support them in every way possible, because we are trying to be that bridge to the future. So to close, I'd like to say that despite the many differences between 2023 and 1965 and all the ways that our struggle may differ, by simply engaging in this fight, we share a profound bond with the people who made an unthinkable sacrifice on that consecrated, hallowed bridge, like the foot soldiers and those whose striving and bravery turned Selma into one of the birthplaces of a truly democratic United States. Yes, we share with them the burden and the blessing of living during an era when freedom itself is being contested and when the stakes could not be higher. So thankfully enough, we also have something else to carry forward. We have the torch of democracy. We have the torch of human dignity and the torch of justice that was handed down to us from our ancestors to our progeny, from generation to generation, and from bridge to bridge. Thank you.